everybody. I hope everybody is having a good week. Running a little behind this weekend. I rearranged my desk, so maybe I'll have to shut this shade. Trying to figure it out. So I'm not sure if I like it, if I want to move it back or not. I'm trying not to be stagnant and keep everything in the same spot. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. We're using the Animal Apocryphy deck by Cara Elizabeth. I don't get anything for saying this. I just say it because I always watch people and I'm always wondering what deck they use. So I like to share. Last week, so I have a pair of Bluetooth headphones with a mic, and I apparently thought I had shut them off while I was charging them, and I had not shut them off. So that's why the sound was all weird last week. Um, it was all muffled and crazy. So that's what happened there. You hear Bo doing his thing in the background today. And there's Tank. I've got two cattle dog mixes. Bo's the disabled one, and Frank is Tank. Everybody's got issues today. Mom is not doing her normal schedule. So yeah, the mic apparently is on. I thought it was off, and apparently my whole reading last week was muffled because it's trying to pick it up in the mic from the headset that was across the room. But I don't like to go back and redo them because I do them as they come, and I feel like it would be not the same if I had to redo it. So the closed captions had me laughing though because none of them were anything that I said in that whole reading. So I don't know where they came from. Those closed captions on Hinge. But we are going to do 6 cards from this deck today. First card is Small Steps, Big Accomplishment. We've got a sea turtle in the sky. We've got the little land turtle on top of there. Unless it's a little painter. I'm not sure if it's a slider or a box turtle. Giving me, he's got the whole world in his hands vibes. Sorry. And space turtle. I had a painting I made called with a space turtle in it. Um, if you're into star seeds, it would be along those lines. So small steps are big accomplishments. As long as you are moving, even if it's one step at a time, no matter how small that step is, it's you're moving forward. So you're not standing still. And there's a every time anything talks about steps or putting one foot in front of the other, I automatically go back to the Christmas movie. Um, I think it's the year without it, not the year without a Santa Claus. The one where Santa Claus is becomes Santa Claus, and it's got the Burgermeister in it, and he sings, "Put one foot in front of the other. If you put one foot in front of the other, soon you'll be walking out the door." So it's a good song, even though it's a children's show. It's stuck with me. Oh, and that's part 8, which is the infinity number on its side. We shall see what comes next. I want you to put this in the middle today. I want to change this up a little bit. Our next card is You Are What You Think. Man, that is a brilliant sun behind the flamingo. Look at all those different color rays. I just did a meditation the other day that had all these different color rays in it. All the different angel colors, all the different angels. So one of your steps could be changing your thought process. Um, I don't want to say looking at things in a different way, but maybe thinking about them in a different way. I'm actually taking a shadow work course that this kind of fits in with a little bit. where it helps you try to think about, where your thoughts come from about certain things and where your patterns are, why you behave certain ways. So one of your small steps could just be as simple as changing how you think about things, or changing what you think about whatever the issue is. What is it? Captain Jack Sparrow says, the problem isn't the problem, it's the way you think about the problem that's the problem. So even though it was meant to sound funny and comical or confusing, kind of is true. The next card is going to be, oh, it's in you. And we've seen him before, the Cowardly Lion, on his way to the Emerald City. And there's the shadow again. He's got his shadow and his golden shadow. And I just learned about those two. So the shadow is where you protect yourself and hide things. And the golden shadow is the parts that you pushed back. Maybe somebody told you, a lot of us in the class were told we were too much, too loud, too in everybody's face. Even though that wasn't the case, you were just too much for whatever reason. And you were kind of told to make yourself be smaller for whatever reason. Uh, So that is like a golden shadow side. Something that was a positive that somebody turned into a negative and you kind of squashed it down because you wanted to stay safe. The other side of this is the Cowardly Lion was going on this journey because he wanted to ask the wizard for courage, not realizing that taking the journey was his one step on the journey to having courage. He took courage to do it in the first place. So making this small step and changing your thought process is a courageous act. It's not easy to make changes. Change is never easy. Nobody likes change. Everything, you kind of want everything to stay the way it is because it's comfortable. But change is also stagnation. Um, if you don't make a change, nothing changes, which probably sounds all hokey pokey and platitudey, but it's kind of true. Maybe you can think of one small change you can make in the way you think about something so you can find the hidden gift because you've always had whatever that is, which is probably your golden shadow, which is his courage that he didn't realize he had until he got there and went through all those things. I mean, the journey is the destination, is the main thing of it. So the journey was what made him realize he had what he had the whole time. Even somebody else had posted about Dorothy not realizing that she had the way home the whole time with the ruby slippers. But my thought process is it wasn't just that she had the way home with the ruby slippers. She had to know what she wanted and ask for it. She didn't realize she even wanted to go back home because she was mad and she wanted to kind of run away from home to start with. So until she realized that home was what she wanted, and that's what she wanted and where she wanted to go, she couldn't get there. So until what's the other thing? I have all these sayings popping up today. You know, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So maybe this is the step. You have to figure out what you want to do, where you want to go, and what the steps are to get to your destination. And then change your thought process about how that is going to happen so you can find your courage or whatever it is that you're seeking to get to your destination that you're trying to be to. And it may not always look the way you want. That's a big problem I always have is in my mind, I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go. And if it doesn't match, then I disappoint myself instead of being excited about, whatever comes out. Or I might overlook it because it doesn't look the same way. And then we've got Mr. Otter, the little rainbow. and his little surrender to receive. Look at his little face. Now, I actually learned about that this week because I am a big, I have to do everything myself kind of person, and surrendering, I thought, was giving up, but it's not giving up. It is. Let me find the thing from my class. 1 second. It's not giving up. It is. I can't remember. It's giving in. It's going with the flow. Let me find it in my notes. Oh, here it goes. I'm just trying to find it in my notes real fast because it was good and I hadn't thought of it that way. I have to remember what class it was in. Anyway, you had to surrender to get what you want, and it has something to do with helping you vibrate and you match better what you want. I'm sorry for the long pauses. Maybe it was just very good. It was really good advice. I'll have to go back and find it and put it in at the end. It's about surrendering and not trying to control the outcome, but asking yourself what it is that you get from doing whatever it is you're doing. So a lot of your stuff has, I don't know, it was about patterns. So you notice a pattern and then you go back and you have to find out where the pattern came from and what the pattern is doing, serve, how it's serving you. Is it, could you get something out of it? Is it keeping you safe? Is it fulfilling some need that you have to meet? So you have to kind of look at it and dig into it a little bit more to find out what it is that you need to let go of so you can kind of move forward and receive whatever it is that you're trying to receive. So that could be part of this. And even if it's, like I said, the idea of this is what I want my outcome to look like, you have to let go of that part of how you want this to play out because it could come out a completely different way and be better than you imagined because you have a limited scope of imagination. It may be something that isn't in your wheelhouse because you've never experienced it before. So it's something you have to let go to allow more to come in. So, and then the next card is get out of your head. We've got that whole circle thing again. So it's kind of the same thing as you are what you think. Maybe you're overthinking it. You've got that rooster sitting there giving the alarm bells that something is wrong. And I'm not saying not to trust your instincts, but then notice that the throat chakra is red also. Sometimes we get so stuck up in the thoughts that we, again, if you can go back to these where you have that picture of this is what I want it to look like, and what if it doesn't happen this way, and you get all this anxiety monkey chatter in your head where you play out all the bad things that could happen. Sometimes you have to kind of try to get out of your head and out of that spiral. Like this is what it says, change the way you think so you can let that go and move forward in any direction, because sometimes you freeze up because you're thinking of all the bad things that could happen, or what if it doesn't come out the way I want, and you don't do anything at all. And then our last card is opportunity. We've got opportunity knocking. That's a pretty beat up looking door. And you've got a lot of red. So it's a big bright opportunity coming. And we've got a bumblebee, Mr. Woodpecker, knocking. So opportunity is going to be knocking, but it may not be the opportunity that you're expecting or you're envisioning. And you may have to look at it and choose whatever this opportunity is to reach whatever your goal is. It may just be the next step to reach whatever the goal is that you have in mind that you're trying to do. There's some red cards today. Somebody really wants to catch somebody's attention. But they're also power and passion. So it may not look right, but it may give you power and some passion to move forward. And I don't know if they're bee honeycombs or that screen is just beat up, but the door is definitely not going to look like what you are expecting. It may look kind of beat up and ragged, but it may be the opportunity you need to make that small step to help you change your thought process. Once you let go of that, it has to be this way to reach your journey. So there's more. What do you do? No, I'm talking to the guides. I don't need to read the book, but there's something more I'm missing. I don't need to pull another card. Third eye. So we've got the throat and the third eye. I don't know, his third eye just popped up into my vision. So you're going to have to trust your instincts on whatever this is when this knocks. You not don't I know they're in the same plate, but don't let your brain override your instincts when this opportunity comes. Trust yourself. And I know that's easier said than done, but you're going to have to trust your instincts. When this comes, your instinct is going to say, do it. But your brain is going to say, whoa, why do we want to do this? This could be crazy. This doesn't make any sense. This isn't what we've had planned. But you're going to have the courage to make this choice, even though everybody when you do it, don't even talk to anybody else. Do what you want to do. Okay, make your own choice. And I know that's very hard to do, and it may not be easy for everybody's situation, but trust yourself, trust your guides, follow your instinct. When this whack out opportunity shows itself, your brain is going to your intuition is going to say we need to do this, and your brain is going to say, oh no, we're not doing that. That is just insane. People are going to think we've lost our minds. But you're going to have to trust your intuition. I mean, their alarms are going to go off, the rooster's going to start crowing, but you've got to calm that down. You've got to take that step, change your think, let go of your expectations, and answer that door, and at least see what that opportunity has to bring. And trust your gut, trust your instinct. If your instinct, the way you can tell the difference between your instinct and anxiety is fear based. It is going to be like, oh my God, we can't do it. It's very, very fear based. Your intuition will be calm. It may say yes, it may say no, but it will be calm. Whereas anxiety is going to be all kind of chaotic and crazy and 50 million thoughts of why this is not going to work. Where your instinct is going to probably be mostly just a yes or no, or maybe. But more than likely, I mean, look, you've even got the lucky clover down here. So, and all that green. So I think that's going to conclude it. Yeah, I'm getting a yes. So that is where we're at. So we want to answer the door, even though it's going to be a beat up door, and it's going to find it probably be. I mean, maybe you're afraid of bees. I don't know. I like bees. Maybe it's going to be kind of scary because there's going to be a bee buzz in there, and you're going to be like, "What is this mess?" But he's knocking like a drum. And it's going to be loud and annoying knock, and your intuition is going to be like, answer the door, and you've got to just kind of quiet your lizard brain or monkey brain or whatever you want to call this part that's flipping out, and trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your words. Trust your intuition. Change your thought process and let go of perceived expectations, and you will be surprised that this small step is going to help you make the big accomplishment that you're trying to make. And I hope that is a good reading for everybody. Thank you for watching my readings. I'll put the link to my Facebook page and group in the description. If you want to join the group as I finish up my shadow work course and try to figure out how I work it into my practice, I'll offer um, shadow work as part of my energy healing going forward once I work out all the kinks of how I'm going to add it to it. It was an interesting course. So I hope everybody enjoyed the reading. Like I said, please like, subscribe, follow. Well, I don't subscribe. I'm not paid for it. So like or follow, comment. If you like it, it helps me out because it gets me on the algorithm so more people see them, and then it gets it so you can see more of my readings as well if you like them. So I hope you have a great day, a fabulous rest of your weekend, fabulous rest of your week. All right, it's my lunch alarm. Get ready for work. And I appreciate everybody and have a wonderful week. And I will talk to you next weekend. Bye.